All right, welcome as we get everybody on screen here to Morning Tailgate Week 10 edition, guys. Uh, Brought to you by C2C Entertainment Network. I'm the host, Big B, and I'm joined by my guys. Everybody's in, and Dave's making some breakfast for us, and
Yep.
we're gonna fry up some bacon here. So we'll start with the working man, crispy bacon. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. Another week. Interesting week at that. So
Yeah, week 10. And then halfway across the world, the Primus. Tim Hendricks, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I'm starting to wonder if Bacon is talking about the game about between the Vikings and the Bills,
I don't know.
or maybe the Packers
sure.
Cowboys. Who knows?
Yeah. And then up there making Chef Boyardee. Mess around,
Both
Dave.
are
How
good
you
games.
doing?
I'm good. I'm up finally here after missing a couple weeks. Representing Justin Field today. That's right.
All right. So before we get started, I want to ask Tim a question. Are we going to get a number one victory for Mr. Saturday today? What happened in the Colts locker room?
I to be honest, I think it was a long time coming. Um, I think I think we needed to fire that coach before we decided to fire the offensive coordinator. It's been a long time coming. Um, There's just been a lot of inexcusable crap that's been been in the locker room. Um, this whole Jeff Saturday thing, um, it's everybody's shocked. The fact is that he's got no coaching experience on the college or the pro level. It happened in 1961 when Norm Van Brocklin was was hired as a coach without any college experience or any pro experience. But
It happened in Minnesota with Tice, too. So,
yeah, but it's interesting. He's got the ear of the locker room, hopefully, but he doesn't. As from what I'm hearing, is that Irsay wanted him, but the executives didn't. So I think there's a lot more turmoil in the front office than there's been let on to be, I guess.
okay. Because he wasn't on the staff at all, right? They just pulled him
He
out
was
of.
he was a consultant he
Okay.
was a consultant in Indy, but he wasn't on the staff per se. Nothing like a Reggie Wayne or a Robert Mathis of a couple years ago.
Okay.
Wasn't he an analyst on ESPN too?
Yeah, he was doing I think he was doing the Sunday morning shows for ESPN. And the
Okay.
funny thing is, I think this all stems from letting Eberflus go to Chicago.
I don't know if you guys see that, but it
Sirianni-
says we're not streaming.
Huh?
It says we're not streaming on Facebook right now.
Yeah, Chris. I was just going to say that. Thank you, mess around. So, unless something's going on with Facebook. But anyways, keep going, Tim.
But
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
when you let the offensive coordinator go to Philadelphia, Nick Sirianni, and then you let Eberflus go to Chicago, the writing was on the wall that he wasn't much for this. It just wasn't going to be there. He wasn't going to be there for a while.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully it's not.
Now we're live.
There we go. Now we got to go. Sorry, guys, for the delay. A little technical issues, but
On Facebook.
Tim was just covering that the Colts move with Saturday becoming the coach. Outside of that, Tim, you had our one tough question this week.
Yeah, our one tough question. I decided to. It kind of got brought. I kind of thought of this last week while we were talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. If you had a quote unquote GOAT or a future Hall of Famer, and you were out of playoff contention, and both these guys are rumored to possibly not be with the team next year, do you start the backups to give them live fire action?
Mesra, what do you think? I know we've been kind of talking about this in our chat.
Eggs. You gotta have eggs with corned beef hash.
There you go. So, Chris, what do you think? Well, Dave's You're on mute, Chris.
Can I hear you?
Yeah. Okay,
There you
I'm
go.
good.
Uh,
It's an interesting hire.
no,
You
no, no.
know,
We're talking. We
bringing
went. We
in.
went to Chris. We went to Tim's one tough question. Do you
Oh, okay.
start kind of rebuilding during the season if you're out of playoff contention with your quarterbacks and stuff?
It depends how, who's your backup and how much tape you've seen of him, or what you've seen of him in practice. I think it depends on the situation in who you have as quarterback starting your team. Uh,
Okay.
I don't think you'll see anything from, Brady's backup or Rogers' backup.
Okay. How about you, Messer? What do you think?
Well, it's been on, like Chris said, your quarterback is, if it's Brady or Rodgers, obviously you're not going to take him out for a young guy because they get paid too much to sit on the bench. So, but if you had a team like, I don't know, Cleveland or something with the Watson situation we talked about last night after the show, uh, if they're out of playoffs, maybe you don't play Watson this year and ride Brissett and see how he does. But I don't know. It all depends on who your quarterback is and who the backup
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. For me, I mean, yeah, you got Rodgers, Brady, like you guys said, Wilson. You're paying the big bucks for them. You don't want to put them on the bench solely, but I think in the short term, I think maybe you throw them in a series or two, a half, and see where it goes. Just to get them his feet wet. And then
Yeah.
maybe around week 14, 15, 16, if you're out, then you say, hey, okay, we're gonna play this guy a little bit more, and then maybe give him a starting job on 16 and 17 just to kind of see where it's going. I mean, they do that in baseball. I mean, they bring up guys to kind of see where they fit in and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, Rogers and Brady, don't want to sit out. Brady's or Rogers already made a comment he doesn't want to teach his replacement, but I think within the next couple of weeks, I think teams that are out of it, I think they should start looking that way. So that was a good question there, Tim. I like that. So
Yeah.
all right, Chris, Chris, why don't you give us a little update on the Germany game right now? I think the second half just
Yeah.
started.
Second half just started. Seattle's finally on the board. 3 points, so it's 14-3. A little bit into the third quarter.
All right. And we all well, no, we went 50-50. Me and Tim picked Seattle, Chris and Dave picked the Bucks. So
Yep.
right now looking, in their favor. So all right, let's get into our picks this week. I know everybody can't wait to hear what we have to say. So the first game we got the 7-1 Vikings versus the 6-2 Bills. Bills are favored by 2.5. Typically, I would start with this game, but I want to save my comments for later. So, Chris, who do you have in this game?
Josh Allen's playing. Right now, I'm going with Buffalo.
All right, cooking mess around. How you doing?
Where's it at? Is it in Buffalo?
Yeah, it's in Buffalo.
I'm going to go with the Bills only because they're playing at home. If the Vikings were, I'm going to take them, but I think it's going to be close.
All right, Tim.
Well, I think you have this as your dream Super Bowl for this year. We're talking about a team. We're talking about a Minnesota Vikings who's 0-4 in the Super Bowls versus the Buffalo Bills who are 0-4 in the Super Bowl. I like this. I think this is probably going to be the game of the day. I right off the top, I think this is going to be one of the better games of the day. But I've got the Buffalo Bills.
All right. Yeah, I'm. I say it every year until I get the 0-4 Super Bowl. That's the dream matchup I got. Vikings are surprised. To me, surprising at 7-1. I, don't think they. I mean, they earned it with the wins, but they're just not playing at that. The Bills took that shocking loss last week against the Jets in New York. Allen will start. I mean, if the Vikings get some pressure on them, it make a long day for Allen. But he's a mobile quarterback, and the Vikings have a hard time getting those mobile quarterbacks. I'm kind of on Dave's thinking. If it was in Minnesota, I'd probably take the Vikings, but I'm going to go the Bills in a close game here. I think hopefully the Vikings defense steps up. That's all. That's what's going to be the difference is which defense can stop their offense because I think both teams have powerful offenses. So we got the Browns at 3-5 versus the Titans at 5-3. Titans are favored by 2.5. Mess around. Who do you got?
Is Tannehill starting at quarterback or are they starting the rookie?
Tannehill.
Yeah, Tannehill. They said Tannehill's coming back.
Because I know the rookie played last week.
Yep.
The Browns are just not very good with, their quarterback situation. So Watson gets back. So I'm going to go with Titans. Derrick Henry's going to have a big day. I think Chubb does as well, but I think Tennessee does enough to stop him to win the game.
All right, Tim, who do you have?
I don't think the defense in Cleveland is going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a big number. I think Derrick Henry's putting up 165 to 185 against that defense. I don't think it's as close as that. I don't think that game is going to be as close as the point spread. So I've got the Titans.
Chris?
Yeah, I got Tennessee. Derrick Henry's there. You got Tannehill in there, so I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee too. I'm kind of disappointed in the Broncos and how they faltered and just can't seem to get it together with Russ and the crew there. So, all right. No, next game is the 2-6 Lions versus Mess Around's 3-6 Bears. Mess Around, since you're wearing the orange, go ahead. Who do you got?
I got to go with my team. Can't pick against them with Detroit. If we lose, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. I mean, Detroit's good. They've been in a lot of games this year, so it wouldn't be surprising if they won. They beat Green Bay last week.
Yep.
But Justin Fields is playing really good ball lately, and I think he continues that today.
Yep. Chris, how about you? Who do you have?
Oh, who's the Bears playing again?
Lions.
Oh.
Lions.
I got Chicago.
All right. Tim.
Hey, my lock came in last week. My bacon feeling lock came in last week with the Lions winning. I'm not stepping in front of that train again. I've got the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a clean sweep. Because every time it seems like we put faith in the Lions just roll over on us. So
way to go, guys! We all picked the Bears, so they're going to lose.
Yeah, I picked them just mainly because they're at home. I mean, that's why. I probably would go with the Lions if they're at home. So next game, the Jags at 3-6 versus the Chiefs at 6-2. Chiefs are favored by 9.5. Tim, who do you have in this game?
There's nothing that the Jaguars can do to stop the Chiefs. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't care if Charlotte Flair is quarterbacking the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. I don't think it's a. They're going to need the whole AEW roster for Jacksonville to think about stopping Kansas City, and that's not going to happen. I'm not going to. I got Kansas City.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, Jacksonville is probably going to need AEW and WWE, but I'm picking Kansas City. I don't think Kansas City is gonna lose this game.
All right, mess around.
I don't know. Kansas City did lose his Colts this year, so there's that.
That's true.
Any given Sunday, right?
Yep.
Right.
But I can't pick against Kansas City. They're just too good right now. I think it's going to be close. I think it'd be like 21-17.
All right. So again, second game or third game, fourth game actually. We all went with the same team. I'm going Kansas City because Jacksonville's been good and hanging around, but I just.
I'll be right back. Got to go wake up my son for breakfast.
All right, you go.
Yeah.
You go wake him up. Yeah, I just can't pick against Kansas City at home against the Jaguars.
You got the breakfast.
All right.
Nope.
So we got the 3-5 Browns versus the 6-3 Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 3.5. Chris, who do you have?
I got Miami, and I'm gonna make this my lock.
All right, Chris
Okay.
going with the lock on the Dolphins. Tim.
Yeah, I don't think the Browns are going to be able to stop two games today because I considered the Browns playing the Titans earlier. But they're not going to start Legion and Zoom. That team is too fast, too quick. I think the Browns aren't going to be able to stop a cold. I like the Dolphins.
All right, Tim going Dolphins. Meswell still away. So I will go and that high flying offense that Tua could get keyed in early. Right now all the Browns really have is a running game. So I'm going with the Dolphins. We'll get Meswell's take when he gets back.
Yeah.
There he is. Meswell, Browns versus Dolphins, and you're on mute. Oh, there you go.
Who was it?
Browns Dolphins.
Browns Dolphins. I thought we did the Browns game earlier.
No, the Broncos.
Oh, Broncos. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dolphins. Lock it.
Oh, double lock on that one. 'Cause
I
Chris
picked
went
them
with
for my lock too.
Yeah,
I took
all
him
right.
last week against my Bears too. The lock.
All right. So we got the 1-6-1 Texans versus the 6-2 Giants. For me, I'm going Giants. They've been the surprise team. The Texans aren't playing football down there. I don't know what the heck they're playing down there. So, Chris, who do you have?
Yeah, as much as I don't want the Giants to win, I'm going to pick them to win. I think they're a better team than Houston.
All right, Tim.
I like the Giants. The Tennessee Texans, great. Now I'm starting to talk like the Houston Texans aren't playing football at this point. They might be playing Madden, but they're not playing NFL football.
Yeah.
I've got the Giants, and I'm going to make it my lock.
Ooh, make it the lock there. And mess around.
Make it a clean sweep. Giants big by like 21.
Ooh, Giants big. All right.
Ooh.
All
There's a
right.
tripping call in the
I
game.
already went Giants. All right. So we got the 3-6 Saints versus the 2-6 Steelers. Right now this game is even. So Tim, who do you have in this game?
I'm the most hated person in my house for this because they tell me that the Saints never win. And everybody else in my house took the Steelers, so I'm going to take the Saints.
Ooh.
Ooh, all right. So you're going with the Saints. Mess around.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Saints also. Both teams are terrible anyway, but the Saints got a big weapon back in Kamara, so that'll help. And I think Kamara has a huge day, and they win by 14.
All right. Chris?
Yes, back and forth. Both teams aren't playing that well. Steelers are at home, so I'm picking Pittsburgh.
All right. Finally, somebody decided to go off the grid here. I mean, we've been kind of cheating off everybody. I'm going with the Steelers too. I think mainly just because they're at home. I think Trubisky's starting. I don't think they went back yet, but
Biscuit.
yeah. So I'm going Steelers. So, and then going into the later games, we got.
If Trubisky's playing, I'm taking Steelers.
Are you going to take the Steelers? I believe Trubisky's playing. I could be wrong.
I thought it was Pickett.
If it's Pickett, I'm with the Saints.
All right, Chris, if you could look that up, we'll get Dave's final answer before the end of the show.
Game time decision on his pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time ever. It's morning tailgate game time decision pick.
Yeah. So next we got the later games, the 3-5-1 Colts versus the 2-6 Raiders. Tim, let's talk to your team here. Who do you have?
this is not Saturday. This is Sunday. Um, as much as I would like to see Jeff, and I like Jeff. Jeff's a good guy. I'd like to see Jeff get his first win, but I have a feeling Jeff's not going to get his first win until Week 19 against the Jaguars or against the Texans. I've got the Raiders.
Did you say week 19?
Yeah, sure, because that's how long it's going to take.
All right, mess around. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with Saturday. He's getting his first win today. I'm taking the Colts.
All right, Chris.
I'm going to stick with my picks. I picked them before all of this happened with the Colts, but I'm taking the Colts and Pickett's your quarterback for Pittsburgh.
All right, so he's going Saints. All right. All right, for me, you know what? Saturday's going to get a win on Sunday, and I'm making it my lock. So Colts are going to win. You can't win them all if you don't win the. You can't win them all if you don't win the first one. So,
That's true.
You know the start of the being the greatest coach ever starts today. So. All right, so we got the 6-2 Cowboys who are favored by 3.5 over the Packers at 3-6. So, Chris, your team.
Yeah, on this game I've been back and forth. Cowboys been playing good. Packers have been on a losing streak. I'm going Packers.
Wow.
I feel like there's a lot of hype here. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe
Chris
that's
not
a bad
believing
thing.
in the hype.
Are you trying to do the reverse thing where you pick the team hoping that
Sure.
All right, mess around. I don't think I really have to ask because I know you're
the Packers. No one ever picked the Packers. I'm going with the Cowboys.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, this is how you do it, Bacon. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
It is because
Packers
are typically a tough team in Lambeau Field, but they're so a rise right now in the locker room. I'm going Cowboys.
Rodgers playing like crap right now, and he has
exactly. That's the thing. He doesn't look like he's into it this year. So
but like we say, any given Sunday, anything can happen.
Well, yeah, no. I think this will could be possible the second game of the week because especially be the game of the afternoon.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got the 3-6 Cardinals versus the 3-5 Rams. Rams are favored by 3, and I just read that they're uncertain on both teams on their starting quarterback right now.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Tim, who do you have?
I wasn't even uncertain on the quarterbacks. This is such a terrible game. This is, and to be honest, I think the game is a whole lot better because they might be both starting their backup quarterbacks, which should make this a whole lot more fun.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'd feel really sorry for the backup quarterback for the Cardinals with Aaron Donald. Donald's still playing, right?
Yeah, Donald should still be playing.
Okay, I still have. I've got the Cardinals in a close game.
All right. Chris, who do you have?
I'm relying on the Rams defense. LA Rams.
All right, the Rams. Mess around.
This is a tough game, really, as both teams aren't doing what they were expected to do. Especially Rams coming off Super Bowl win.
Yep.
Jeez. Flip a coin. I'm going to go with Arizona.
All right, going with the Cardinals. I got to stick with my number 1 and number 2 pick in fantasy. I got to go the Rams. I'm still praying that they get it clicked. But if Stafford's not starting, then I don't even know who the backup is right now. It could be Messeroff for all I know. All right, we got the 5-3 Chargers versus the 4-4 Niners. Niners favored by 7.5. I think that's kind of high. So, Tim, who do you have?
I think it's high. I think this is actually going to be the second game of the day. I think this has got all the potential in the world. I've got the Chargers, even though they're the underdog at 5-3, which is weird.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, I got the Chargers too. I mean, it's going to be a good game.
All right, mess around.
I'm gonna go with the Niners. I mean, the Chargers don't have Keenan Allen. They don't have Mike Williams. So they don't have a lot of their weapons. So I'm taking Niners.
All right, I'm gonna go the Niners too. Chargers. I like them. I like what they're doing. Herbert over there. I'm going Niners, and I'll throw it out there. We even see some more little what's his face?
Purdy time?
Purdy. Well, we'll get some Purdy action tonight. So, all right. So the Monday night game, the 4-5 Commanders versus the 8-0 Eagles. Chris, this is your division. So, who are you going?
Got mute.
Chris, you're on mute.
He didn't want us to know.
He's gonna pick a tie.
Yeah, I know, right? Unfortunately, I'm picking the Eagles.
All right, Tim.
I've got the Eagles. I don't even think this is going to be a contest.
All right, mess around.
Nope.
Upset special. Commanders win.
Oh, upset
Oh.
special. We need to get a slide or something like that. Upset special or something. Yeah, I think this starts the. I don't think they lose, but I think this is going to start getting some competitive games going because I think they got the Commanders this week, they got the Titans next week, they got the Giants. So I think the O is going to fall here within the next couple weeks. But Monday Night Football prime time. We're not talking Kirk Cousins, so I'm going Eagles to go 9-0. So with that being said, guys, the picks are in. Do what you guys want with them. Except for those early games, because I think we all picked the same early game except the Steelers game. So, all right. So, Chris, let's get into our. What's up?
There's going to be one more international game, but it's on a Monday night. So,
really?
Wow.
Mexico.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Mexico game. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, I thought maybe they're breaking some news. So, all right, Chris, let's get into our topics here.
All right.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
All right, Chris.
Yeah.
Your history take today.
So today we're talking the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams. They're also the St. Louis Rams. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. Both of them they won. One of them with Kurt Warner. They've had historic teams. But they're still, I guess, they started in 1936. So they're not a relatively new team, but they've been around for a little bit. Good in the regular season most of the time, but not a lot of playoff experience early on in their history.
All right, good to history take there. So let's go into topic number 2. All right, C2C Ranking. You can catch us on Tuesday mornings with myself and Tim as we rank different topics. Last week we did video games. This week it's going to be a movie theme. So, Tim, what do you got in your prime 5?
Okay, I decided to do. Well, we're at the midway season, and I decided to do the power rankings of top 5 teams in the NFL. For me, I've got number 5. I've got the Kansas City Chiefs. They'd be higher, but Mess Around brought it up earlier that they had lost to the Indianapolis Colts. So, or they'd be higher at this point. Number 4, Bacon's gonna like this one. Crispy's gonna like this one a lot because it's the Cowboys. And then at number 3, I've got the Big B's opponent today in the. No, you guys are not playing them. Yeah, you guys are playing the Bills. Wow, it's almost like I didn't do my homework. But you guys got the Buffalo Bills. And then I've got at number 2, if they hadn't lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, they'd be number 1. I've got the Minnesota Vikings at number 2. And at number 1, you can't hold an undefeated team back. So until you lose, you can't go down the pole. I've got the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right. Yeah, that one L right now for the Vikings is kind of tough, and that's what's kind of scary when they face good teams. They don't seem to produce, but no, definitely like that. Like you said, can't hold the Eagles back. I mean, kind of a surprise, I think. So all right, Chris, let's go into our next topic.
Which one would you like that to?
You can do the Bodine book, I guess. That's fine.
Uh,
All right. Race against race. Bodine Sanders book. You catch him Wednesdays with Joanne. They talk pretty much everything sports, daily life, stuff like that. So stop messing around with mess around. Question to you, mess around. Should teams and players, agents still talk contracts during the season, or should that be set aside?
I think that stuff needs to be handled in the offseason. Get it done before the season. You don't want that distraction going on during the season for the team, for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I say table that until the season's over.
Yeah, and I brought that up because Barkley and the Giants have tabled contract extensions as of right now. So, yeah, I agree. I think talks should take a back seat to the season. Get your number one priority. Tim, what do you think?
I completely agree. I think the off season is necessary for all those things. That's why the off season's there. I think you need to be you talk contracts with free agents. Might as well make your contract extensions then too. It's rather your focus should be on the field when it comes to the regular season, not what's going to be done in the front office.
Yeah.
So I completely agree.
I
I think
agree.
it should be tabled.
All right, so Chris shaking his head. You must agree with that. Yep. So
I agree, and I
go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why Lamar Jackson stopped his negotiations before the season started. He wanted to focus on the season rather than his contract, but also he's a player, agent, so to speak, because he doesn't have an agent. So,
well, and that's the thing too. I mean, you got to find somebody you can trust when it comes to this type of money and stuff like that. So, he just doesn't have nobody he can trust, or wants to do it himself. That's fine. More power to him. All right, let's go with our fourth topic. There, the big baller of the week.
you want it to be the Oregon?
Yep. Oregon Cougar football. You catch them here on C2C during the regular season. Our very own J-Max, the play-by-play guy for them, and we'll be seeing a lot of him, and we hope to have a weekly show coming soon. So check out Oregon Cougars women's professional football. So with that being said, guys, my baller this week, I'm going to kind of change it up a little bit. I think I'm going to have two in the same game. They play the same position, and I kind of think one wants to show that he's the new guy, and I think and wants to forget about the other guy. And the other guy, I think, wants to play a little revenge on his former team. So I think we're going to get a dual matchup here. I think Stephon Diggs and Jefferson are going to want to ball out. Diggs wants to show that the Vikings made a mistake, and Jefferson wants to make them show that they made the right choice. So I think we're going to get the one up here. I think whatever Diggs does, Jefferson's going to do. Whatever Jefferson does, I think Diggs is going to want to do. So,
but that would be next week, though. That'd be next week.
No, that's this week.
That's this week.
Yeah,
Buffalo,
Buffalo, Minnesota.
I see.
Yeah, so I want to see. I think they're going to try to one up each other during the and hopefully Jefferson gets the upper hand, but we'll see what happens.
Chris, but you're too young to have a senior moment, bud.
So, looking at some news here, kind of our picks went kind of quick because I think we're getting into that season with the picks that we're kind of already know what we're going to pick, and there ain't much saying. So, Odell Beckham Jr. Hopes to sign with the team soon. Chris, I know he's been tied to the Cowboys a lot.
Yeah.
You want that signing?
I don't know. I mean, a part of me says I don't think so. No, because
All right.
you already have a good thing going right now. I know he has family here in Dallas, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think he'll sign here.
All right. Other teams listed: Bills, Chiefs, Giants, and the Niners.
Go to
Tim,
KC.
Tim, where do you think Odell could sign up?
I think he goes back to the Giants.
Ooh.
I can see it.
I really I think he said it might be. I think somewhere I read that he might think that might be a dream come true to go back home, to go back where he started. I think it would be a good fit. It would definitely help give Danny Dimes another receiver on the field. I think it'd be a good idea.
Yep, I like that. Restaurant. I know for a while there he was tied to go to the Bears, but I think that's kind of fallen off. But where do you think Odell goes?
Where he thinks he can get a Super Bowl. I think he's going to sign one of the big contenders, maybe Kansas City, Buffalo, something like that. I just hope he signs somewhere because I picked him up in fantasy and stashed him.
Yeah, always a fantasy move. For me, I mean, if he goes to Kansas City, I mean that's just another weapon, that they can stash away like mess around does in fantasy. Buffalo, another number 2 against Buffalo or Diggs. But the homecoming, I mean, help the Giants go back to the Super Bowl playoffs. I mean, be another piece there.
I could see him going back to the Giants because Saquon
Yeah.
sent out a thing on Twitter or whatever, and he said family reunions are always awesome, and Beckham liked it.
Yep. I think that would be the perfect fit to. I mean, because his career is coming up. I mean,
Yeah.
So I say he goes with the Giants, but it would not surprise me if it comes out. Maybe even after today. If the Cowboys don't, or if the Cowboys struggle, that he signs with the Cowboys. He's linked really heavily there. So
Everybody's doing what Saquon's doing over here in Dallas, messaging him on Twitter and stuff. Hey, come on over here. We
you
want
messaged him
you.
too, Chris? Is that what you're
No,
trying to
no,
tell us?
no, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Colts linebacker Leonard's going to miss the rest of 2022. Tim, is that going to hurt them?
No, we've been without him for pretty much the whole year as it is. So
Okay.
it's only
That
going
dude
to
should
help
change
him.
his name.
Yeah, he needs to go back to
And
Canada.
then Minshew Fitzpatrick for the Steelers is going to miss multiple weeks. They're saying.
But they're going to get T.J. Watt back.
Yeah, they're going to get T.J. Watt back. And like we said earlier, Cards Rams still uncertain of their quarterback status, so that'll be interesting to watch. Let's see, Colt McCoy and or John Warfel very well could end up starting today. So
The real
For the
McCoy.
Rams.
Sweet.
yeah, the real McCoy. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. So Tannehill returning today, and the Titans take first round rookie Burns off the IR. So Burks will probably get some playing time in the next couple weeks here. So we got some time to kill, guys.
Yep.
Let's look at the playoff picture. We don't have that statistician text
Where's
us.
name for you?
Yeah, to tell us how many playoff scenarios it takes to get people in. So let's see. Right now, the AFC, we had the Bills at 1, Kansas City 2, Baltimore 3, Titans 4, Jets at 5, Dolphins at 6, Chargers at 7, and then you got the Patriots at 8. So looking in, you got the Bengals right now at 5 and 4, and then after that, I think Cleveland, Denver, and Jacksonville all has 3. So
I don't see.
Go ahead, Chris. No,
I
go
don't.
ahead.
I don't see Denver and Jacksonville getting in.
So you're saying there's still a chance?
Yeah,
A
exactly.
slim chance.
So are we in the agreement that Cincinnati's probably the last team to probably get into the AFC, if anything? Tim?
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement. I agree that Cincinnati's got a chance. That might be
Yeah.
the last one.
And
Yeah.
unless they get the injury to Burrow.
Oh, that. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's possible. Yeah, I mean, right now Cincinnati, the Super Bowl representative last year, just looking in. I mean, I know they got in last year, and J Mac. Speaking of J Mac, he surprised us all, and I think midway through the season, I think he said Cincinnati was going to make the playoffs and make a Super Bowl run. So,
Yeah, off my laptop, cat.
Do you think mid-season of an NFL season is at the point where you say we're a playoff team or not?
nah,
Or
I
is
think
that
we're
like
looking more at like week 12. I think. I mean,
okay.
granted, I know there's only 4 games after that, 4 or 5, depending on how you look at it. So maybe week 11, you start looking at that, and get in the locker room, and go, guys. I don't think this is what we need to do. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Where's the breaking point where you start telling you hype your team up for the playoffs? Tim?
I started 3 weeks ago when we started to suck. I don't know if I were somebody like if I'm looking at it where I need to win out.
Houston?
I'm starting to think right now, to be honest.
Okay.
You're looking at those teams that have 6 losses.
Oh.
You at 7, you're pretty much got to go. You got to get to 10-7 at that point. I think now is the time
Okay.
you got to look.
How about you, Mess Around? When do you think the locker room mood changes from playoff run to let's just
Probably when a team gets about their 6-7 losses season.
Okay.
This is why I think the trade deadline should be later in the season too.
Yeah, there was talk of that last week. We talked a little bit about that. So, yeah, I think they'll probably move it to week 10 or 11. I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So in the NFC, we got, of course, the Eagles at 1, Vikings at 2, Seahawks 6-3, and then after that, the Bucks at 4 and 5 because they're the division winners. Then you got the Cowboys and Giants both at 6-2. You got the Niners at 4-4. Got Washington 4-5, and then after that you got Atlanta at 4-6. And actually that 8, 9, or the 7th and 8th spot, that can go either way. I mean, the Lions still have a fighting chance at 2-6. I think, just because nobody's really putting it out there. So, Tim, what's your look on the NFC?
So you're saying Detroit's got a chance. So you're saying,
yeah. I mean, they're one of the teams that probably got to look to win out and have some luck happen. But
I truthfully think I like the way they're standing now. As much as I hate the fact that Tampa is a division leader. But I think Tampa goes into the playoffs under 500.
Okay. Yeah, I think what was it, a couple years ago? Didn't
Seattle?
Yeah. Well, the East, I think too, also had a team at 7-9 a couple years ago.
I think it was Washington, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching.
And that's the thing right now. I mean, you got
with
the Eagles because they play. They're what, 8 teams that get in?
7 teams.
Chris? Or is it 9?
7 teams. 7 teams.
7. Okay. All right. So I mean, because you got the Eagles at 8-0, you got Dallas in at 6-2, you got the Giants at 6-2. Washington's only half a game behind the Niners to get that 7th seed. So,
and the Eagles are the only team to get the bye.
Yep.
The 1 seed's the only team.
Yeah. So I mean, Washington.
I still don't like the format at all.
You don't like
the way it was.
We could talk about that, but I mean, Washington's only half a game from getting the whole division in. How weird would that be to get the whole AFC East in?
That'd be weird. Yeah.
It'd be weird, but if they keep gunning with Heineke, it could easily be done.
Yep. So mess around. You said you don't. Well, first, what's your thoughts of the AFC East getting all their teams in if Washington keeps playing the way they do?
It's possible, but I don't think Washington's going to sustain it. They're going to fall off eventually.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons are going to get in.
Okay. Yeah. Falcons. I
That'd
mean,
be
they're another game. Another game behind or a couple games behind because they played on Thursday. So I'm kind of like to see the whole division get in because then kind of going to mess around's point. They might have to look at the way those seedings are again because I mean, the whole division gets in. I mean, yeah, NFC, right now it's looking like that, but get a couple more games in, it might not look so. But mess around, you brought it up. You don't like the way the layout is right now, the format.
No, I like it when the top two teams had to buy.
Okay.
I think we need to get back to that. It was, I know to me it made better playoff. I mean, last year's playoffs were phenomenal, but I'm just old school like that, I guess.
Okay. Tim, what do you think?
No, I absolutely agree. I think I think they took a step back when they only gave the top team a bye. I think when it was two teams that took a bye, I thought it was good. I thought it was easy to do it. If you give only one team a bye, you give no team a bye at that point. And then let 8 teams and then play 4 games right out, and then you play it right out. Or you give number 1 and number 2 the bye week, and then you just play it out from there.
All right,
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like you get more games, with this format, but and I think you make the number 1 spot more wanting to win. You want that number 1 spot because you're the only team that gets it instead of a second team.
Yeah, I think down the road, I think the drive, like with Minnesota and the Eagles battling back and forth. Now we're hoping that the Eagles lose a couple games and Minnesota keeps winning because that's the only way we're going to get the number 1 seed.
Right.
So I think, like Chris said, I think it makes for more competitive football going into the playoffs. But I'm a traditionalist. I mean, it's always been two teams with the bye. So I mean, the football still is good. The playoffs last year were phenomenal, like Messerau said. But outside of that, Chris, why don't you give us a quick update? Going into the fourth quarter, it looks like.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes to go. Tampa Bay is winning 21-3. Barring anything happening, I can see Tampa Bay winning. Seattle is on the field right now with Geno Smith, trying to make a comeback.
Yep, and looks like Godwin and Julio Jones scored, and Fournette scored for the Bucks. And just looking at the stats here, it looks like they threw to Brady and he dropped it again. So he's just dropping everything. I mean, his wife, his house, his money. I mean, he's dropping everything. So, all right, guys, let's go around. I know, about 10 minutes earlier than normal, but Tim, why don't you give us your final thoughts and your takes on Week 10 here?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting. We got a couple games that could be games of the week, could be games of the year. It's going to be fun to watch. We get to see a new era in Indy with Jeff Saturday. Other than that, I hope everybody enjoys this week, and hope to see you guys next week.
All right, mess around, Dave.
My thoughts are: I hope the Bears don't get upset today by the Lions because I will not be happy later.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be a exciting game between Cowboys and Packers. Hoping the Cowboys win, but you never know what's going to happen. So,
all right. For me, yeah, it's Week 10. Got some good games. Vikings, Bills. Possible Super Bowl matchup. I mean, we're getting into that talk now where some of these games we might see repeat. Cowboys, Packers, always a good rivalry game, even though they're not rivalries, but it seems like they should be.
It kind of feels that way with their playoff history in the 90s.
Yep, exactly. So, but no, Week 10, Can't wait for it to really kick off and sit down and watch some games. With that being said, keep checking out C2C all week long. Tonight, between the ropes with Mess Around, Ace and the crew. Tuesday night, we got C2C with me and Mr. Tim Hendricks there as we break down some movie categories. We got On Deck hopefully this week for their final episode and Tuesday Night Mania, and then the rest of the shows the rest of the week. So that being said, guys, thank you, Mess Around. Thank you, Working Man Crispy Bacon. Thank you, Prime Ooze Tim, and thank you, fans, for watching. Check you all next week on Morning Tailgate. Have a good night.